When it comes to relationships, a lot of people out there would die for that perfect man or woman who makes their life complete. I mean, who doesn't like a beautiful girl with curves in the right places and a smile that melts their heart? Which girl wouldn't like a man who not only understands and cherishes her, but also gives everything to keep that smile on her lovely face? We all want a great relationship without the dramas and stress that make it look like a telenovela. But after finding that perfect imperfection for your life, I love the oxymoron there, you've got to keep the relationship going. It doesn't end with visits to the cinema or late night dates where you get to drink in each other's company. That's great, I hope to try that very soon. You have to nurture your relationship. Trust me, if it were so easy to fall in love and stay in love, we would have 0 counts of failed relationships. Hey guys, welcome to Information Forge, where we bring you the juiciest content, and here is our top 10 mistakes to avoid when dating a girl. Number 10, being too emotional or clingy. Sometimes it takes you a very long time to find that special someone. When you finally do, you want to spend every available time you've got with them. You want to be in their life every minute of the day, even when they're not with you. When the relationship is barely a week or even 2 weeks old, the love is so raw that it takes all the guts you have in the world to let your girl out of your sight for one single minute. Love can do that to just about anyone. However, this is the point where I tell you your girl is not a teddy bear. She's a human who also needs to love her life. Being too emotional or clingy around her might make her think you're bugging her too much. Realistically, a number of girls will be put off by that unwanted show of emotions. It's more advisable to keep the love alive, but keep the emotions in check. You're not Patrick from SpongeBob, and you've got a life to live as well. Too much of everything is a bad idea. What do you think? Number 9, keeping up with the exes. A number of men find it rather hard when letting go of a previous relationship. They hold on to memories that should have been buried long ago, especially if they're with someone new. You should know how difficult that may turn out to be, as your love for that person may have been too deep to crawl out from. If you're that kind of man, you simply don't have any business with a girl too soon. You would definitely bring your emotional problems into the new relationship. You compare everything between your new girl and the old one that it becomes irritating and annoying. Here's an even funnier part. Some men want to keep up with their exes so badly that they become obsessed with making sure their new girl is seen as a better option. They want the new girl to live up to high standards that would make the ex jealous. If you're doing that or even planning to do so, my submission is quite simple. You've only got a few times before you ruin everything. That's not even a joke. The fact that you still cling to those memories from the past may be psychologically depressing for you and emotionally stressing for your new girl. I just sounded like a philosopher there, didn't I? Awesome! Number 8, silence when it's not needed. You've probably found out by now that Rome wasn't built in a day. There isn't a city in the world that was built in a day, you know. And your relationship would take a lot of time to get to that level where things go well, nearly perfect. You may love your girl so much that you might just want to keep silent when she does sometimes you normally wouldn't like. You'd learned that talking too much in your previous relationship cost you a lot, and you wouldn't want to do that to the new girl. Unfortunately, you're giving her all the excuse in the world to become used to your silence. Girls are very emotional beings. They lash out when provoked. A lot of them do. But that doesn't mean you can't speak up when she's overdone things. You've got to let her realize her mistakes on time and correct them with love. If you fail to do that, you've just set yourself up for the worst kind of emotional bullying you can think of. She feels your silence may even mean you don't love her enough to want to express yourself. Trust me, girls can think of all sorts of crazy things when you refuse to tell them their wrongs. And guess what? They always know they're doing it wrong. Number 7, low level of trust. There's this friend of mine who believes his girl is always cheating on him. And when you ask why, He tells you she's way too beautiful to stick to a guy like himself. That's to tell you he's insecure and doesn't trust the girl one bit. And to tell you the truth, his girl really is beautiful. It's a pity she loves a guy with that kind of thought. A lot of men fall into this category, and if you aren't careful, you might turn out to be one as well. Girls are known to attract lots of men in their lives, even when it's obvious they've got the right man. This is why some men would think their ladies are way too good to stick to them alone. This mistake has caused many to lose a girl that genuinely loves them even while they have other men calling. You gotta know this, a beautiful thing is meant to be appreciated no matter what. If you don't trust your girl that early in the relationship, you'd never be able to shake off that feeling that she's seeing someone else. And when you finally realize the need to trust her, your relationship will be as good as dead. Number 6. Finding a life model decoy. In the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series, Phil Coulson was killed by the agency made a life model decoy that had all the strengths and none of the weaknesses of their favorite agent. We all know how that turned out for them. Oh, you've watched the movie? Sad. In the same vein, expecting too much from your partner will only set standards that may be too hard for them to reach. You want her to be so perfect in every way that you're always pointing out her mistakes at every given opportunity. The good news is, you're going to fail woefully. The bad news is, you failed from the beginning. Know that no human is born without flaws. We've all got our excesses, and you shouldn't project your fantasies on a girl who's just managing to love you the best way she can. You've got to know that she's as human as you rightly are. And you want to know what's worse? You aren't even perfect to begin with. I said what I said. Number 5. Putting up a smokescreen. You may feel bad about how your previous relationship ended, and as such, you may try to hide a number of things from your new girl. In totality, this is a disastrous way to begin loving a person. Girls like to be told the truth, no matter what happens. Also, if you're a person with a very ugly past, I'd advise you to seek help first. You owe it to your new girl to keep things in plain sight. Don't hide your past from her. Men who do this often end up having to explain things they rarely find words for. For example, how will you explain to your new girl that you went to see your ex a city away when you made it obvious that you had nothing to do with the said ex anymore? You need to be open with your feelings before you can convince any girl that you're really ready to get down with her. Number 4. Taking the easy way out. If you're in the habit of trying to avoid confrontations between you and your partner, it may lead to a more devastating confrontation than you initially began with. Problems are supposed to be tackled head on, so you can come to a logical conclusion at any time, or not. Girls are that stubborn. The more you run away from what you should have said to her from the beginning, the heavier it weighs down on your heart. There isn't any relationship in the world where conflicts are totally absent. You should realize that these conflicts help to redesign the direction of your relationship, providing you with angles where you need to develop on time. So the next time you think about how to run away from those problems your girl brings up in your relationship, know that there's a guy out there who's willing to listen to her. And you want to know their replies to these confessions? Let's go grab something to eat, or we can go to the movies. You can tell me all about it when you're more relaxed. Before you know it, she's walking out of your life like... Number 3. No plans, just vibes. There's always more to a relationship than taking cute pictures, eating out, seeing movies, or getting romantically involved all the time. You've got to define that relationship before it gets too late. You need to know what the future holds and what you stand to give and gain from getting involved with that person. An undefined relationship is like flying a plane without a radar. The ride seems lovely, but you're sure to... When you fail to let her know your plans for the future, get to know hers and plan for the future together. You'll only end up getting into unnecessary debts just to make memories that may never last. Set your goals and then smash them together. Number 2. Being jealous for no reason. We may want to agree that women are generally more jealous than men, but in the real world, men show a lot of tendencies to be jealous than women. A jealous man has two reasons to be. One, he has insecurity issues. He feels like everyone is out to get him or take what he has from him. He's always on his guard even when things are not happening. Two, reality. Experiences that leave marks on you are prone to make you feel like some things are not to be tolerated. When you combine these two, you get a man who becomes obsessive, demanding, and without trust. Your girl is probably even wondering how she got to meet you in the first place. You're like a ticking time bomb that nobody had the time to set its timer, and she's unlucky to have pushed the button. Number 1. Falling short. John is afraid to tell his girl he has no money on him. For weeks, he's been taking her out with student loans that he should have used for other important things. His girl, Vanessa, had gotten used to what he does, and she's all too happy to spend time with him. Finally, John is left with no money and a bad credit score. Rather than sympathize with him, Vanessa is angry he didn't tell her he was broke from the beginning. John replies, "I didn't want to appear broke." That line has out a lot of guys under undue pressure. They want to show off to girls that they are supposed to love without relenting. And the desire to not fall short after they have started causes them to do more damage than is absolutely necessary. And with that, we've come to the end of our list of mistakes to avoid when dating a girl. Don't forget to fist the like and subscribe buttons, avoid breaking your devices, and let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Till we come your way again, stay informed.